So, hello everyone. Welcome if you are new to the channel, and welcome back if you love me. We're doing a quick little intro outside of the normal way that I've been doing the secret code name readings. Back in the day when I would do 10 or more readings for a moon event, I used to break them down separately instead of doing them in one big live stream. And then as you know, I was doing my regular work everyday job, I started cutting back on the number of slots and spaces that I offered for them, so I was doing them in one sitting. But because we literally ended up doing 10 slots for this secret codename event, they are going to be done separately. So I'm giving you guys a heads up in advance. The secret code names will be done in separate videos that are going to premiere throughout the day. I'll be using the before tarot, the after tarot, and the Goddess Kali Oracle for some guidance for each of the secret code names. When we're talking about facing the feminine energy, just to give you guys a little insight into what these total solar eclipses are, the sun and the moon represent the masculine and the feminine nature of our duality. And the sun is always shining on the earth and choosing about things, right? The sun dictates life, as does our masculine aspect of the self, right? Our masculine is our mind, it's our thoughts, it's our willpower, it's our drive and determination, it's our choice-making, shot-calling facet of the self, it's our yang. So when it gets eclipsed by the feminine, the yin, which is our receptive energy, it's how we sense and feel through things, it's our emotional body, it's our internal GPS that says, hey, these choices you're making feel good because the experience is good, and hey, these choices that you're making, right, the masculine aspect is making feels bad, can we not choose this anymore, right? It's our gut, it's our intuition, and the things that pop off as red flags, that's our feminine. So if you think about a yin-yang symbol, there's always a piece of each inside of each other, right? The white or yang half of the yin-yang has a black facet of the yin in there, and vice versa. You know, when we get full moons, that's the masculine choosing in alignment with the feminine, okay? But when we get total solar eclipses, that's when the feminine chooses instead of the masculine, okay? Where the feminine, our divine feminine aspect of the self, overrides the logic, the reason, the patterns, the programming of our mind, and chooses something more in alignment, right? Including total path resets. So if you've been on a certain trajectory that doesn't feel good, and you're pushing through it anyway because that's what you've been taught, that's your program, you don't, you know, crumble in the eyes of struggle, you don't bend, you don't break, you just keep going, right? Just keep doing anyway. This is where the feminine facet of the self says enough is enough, because you're choosing something that doesn't feel good. You see, the divine feminine aspect of the self only ever wants to feel good. It wants to thrive. It doesn't want to be in survival mode. It wants to be in thrive mode. It doesn't want to be in happiness as a breadcrumb that we get in life. It wants to be happy all of the time, right? It doesn't want to be in this state of worry or doubt or fear. It wants to feel safe and secure in the self. It wants to be authentic, right? It just wants to exist in its whole light. So when we have a total solar eclipse, the divine feminine takes control, and things start to happen that are beyond the mind's perception. The facet of the self, the masculine aspect of the self, doesn't see what the feminine is choosing. It's kind of like a blind spot. It's beyond our quote-unquote control. It's beyond the mind's ability to control. Thus is the nature of the total solar eclipse. It's where the feminine takes control from the masculine aspect of the self, because the masculine aspect was choosing out of alignment. Now, if you believe your masculine facet of the self is in alignment, and you listen to how you feel, and you choose your feel-goods, you follow that. If it doesn't feel good, you're like, fuck no, like, another day, maybe, you know, but today it's a fuck no, it doesn't feel good. And you are in alignment with yourself. If you could say that you're in a space of inner union and your masculine or your mind listens to your feelings and how you're feeling and chooses better, this eclipse isn't going to really affect you. You're already in alignment. The total solar eclipse is going to wreak what is seemingly havoc for those who are in misalignment. For people who do not know how to listen to their feelings and choose in alignment with their feel-goods. The further away someone is from listening to their feminine on a regular basis, the more drastic this eclipse is going to have an effect on them. For those of you who are in alignment and understand what I just said about the feminine taking control, and your mind is already in a state of surrendering to the feminine, this eclipse is probably going to open up amazing doors for you as it continues to unfold. You're probably going to have a blast with this eclipse energy, because there's nothing to technically be afraid of. The feminine serves the highest good. Your highest good. You'll thank the eclipse later, right? Even if you're in misalignment and your mind is panicking from the gate because, you know, chaos in your world as your feminine energy eclipses your misaligned masculine energy, you'll thank it later, you know. Everything that is coming from this eclipse is in the highest good, whether you realize it or not. And that's not just on the individual scale or the micro scale, it's on the macro scale of humanity as a whole. So everything that is going on collectively is in fact serving the highest good of humanity, even if humanity doesn't really recognize that truth yet, right? For where we are misaligned, the chaos will ensue to get us back into alignment. And for those of us in alignment, you're going to thrive through this because you're already a step ahead of everybody else who's freaking out over the inherent chaos, right? So with that, I do hope you guys enjoy the messages as we face our feminine throughout the readings. The secret code names will be Light Show, Baal, Proserpina, Queen Mab, Hecate's Fury, Dark Side of Dionysus, Fortuna, Dusk's Last Light, Sacred Madonna, and Eagle-Eye Cherry. You will be able to find all of them in the live tab on the channel. Alright, it will not be under videos like this one, it will be under the live tab. Alright, so if any of those secret code names popped out to you, I highly recommend tuning in when it premieres. Until we see each other again, guys, have a happy total solar eclipse, and I will see you on the bright side. Take care.